Welcome back to another roundtable. My name is Adam. I have Rusmin.
Hello.
Victor.
Hi everyone.
And once again, we have AK. All right, welcome
We are
back.
back again.
All
Yes,
right,
I'm
so
back.
this time of year, we usually kind of do a roundtable where we share the lessons or insights or mistakes, whatever it is, we learned during this year, so in 2023 for us. We did this last year as well because I think it's a good time to also kind of reflect. Things that we can do better or something that really just stood out for us in the world of investment, and then what we can do moving forward as well. So we like to do this every year. So all of us are going to share one insight, mistake or lesson, AK included, and then you guys can learn something from that as well. Okay, so why don't I get the ball rolling?
Yeah.
All right. So my insight for 2023 is actually about Meta, Facebook. Right. So if you remember, I think we did talk about Meta on one of our roundtables.
Yeah.
And at that point, Meta was affected by the iOS privacy changes.
Yes.
And that was a structural issue because they could no longer target users accurately on iOS devices.
Yeah.
And that is big. I mean, that is a big part of the revenue stream. All right. If they can't do it so effectively, things could get worse. And this was a structural thing. It wasn't like a temporary thing. And at that point, it was so bad that Zuckerberg basically pivoted his whole company into the metaverse. It was like no longer Facebook, it was just like the metaverse. And that was a very worrying thing because he was like spending billions and everything. And it got so bad, the sentiment, that the PE went all the way down to 9 for a company of Facebook's size and revenue and cash flow generation. So I was really worried, but now you look at Meta and Facebook now, it's like all the way back to over $300.
The biggest winner.
And it's one of the best performers. And I think my insight was that my mistake is that I should have bought more. So I did already have a stake in Meta. And I felt that, this is something that I wasn't very sure about because, like I said, it's a structural thing. We had no idea that Meta could do such a good job using AI to retarget their customers again well that it's basically turned around the business. And they no longer really talk about the metaverse. It's all about AI right now. But my mistake, is I could have been a bit more brave, and maybe buy a bit more. I already had a stake, but I just didn't feel I could increase it. But I didn't sell.
I think we still have to give it to Zuckerberg. He's really a guy who can really change his business model from one to another over the years, right? So, and the funny thing is that my wife also had Facebook share. So the time when they were down, my wife asked me, how come all my gains were wiped out? And then now all of a sudden this year again, I think she looked at the portfolio and said, it's back.
Yeah, it's back.
So I should have told her to
because the thing is, when we always talk about great companies fundamentally strong when it's distressed. We buy more. But I didn't do it for Meta.
But I must say that I think it's not an easy call. It's not an easy call, right? So at the time it was just like structural, and you don't know whether they're going to crack the code. Because if they don't, today could be a very different scenario. So I did think through about that, and then I realized that, this is you have to be brave to really go in. But at the point of time, it's really like you're not sure. I wasn't sure, so I didn't sell, right? But at least the gains are back.
So I didn't sell. You didn't sell. Your wife didn't sell?
No, I didn't. She didn't.
If not, you'd be sleeping on the sofa. So that was my insight for the year. It comes from Meta.
You have to remember, Adam. Money not made is not the same as money lost.
That's true. That is true.
You feel better now,
Yeah, I feel good. Of course, because the share price went up, right? It's okay. But it's just a lesson for me that sometimes you do have to be brave or braver. I think I didn't, like you said, I didn't lose money. I just left money on the table. But that's my insight for 2023. Seeing how it all played out.
I think for me the insights for 2023 would be the year where I actually started looking at this company called Aseptic Packaging called GAPAC. I think that was back in 2013.
Oh wow!
Almost 10 years, right? So I kind of like the company because they are the in aseptic packaging is an industry that actually dominated by Tetra Pak, right? So, and they went to China, so they have this core team that actually set up the China division. And then they left, they set up this GAPAC, and they, within, I think, a short 8 years, they managed to get a 10% market share in that, right? So I kind of like the idea, hey, look, you have this second player that comes out and then offer the customer with the better pricing using Tetra Pak machine, and then they are just selling the feed. So that was a perfect business model. They don't need to spend a lot on CapEx. So over the years, China has started to mature, right? Because the price differences between Tetra Pak and them, I think, started to narrow. So there's very little reason for the existing customer to switch out. So they went into branch out to international market, and so that was the main growth driver that I kind of liked these ideas. But over the years, as I looked through this company, I actually realized that in the China market, this technology of aseptic packaging is no longer as unique as in the past, right? Because the know-how, how to manufacture this aseptic packaging, it seems to be like a norm. A lot of companies in China seems to be able to do it. So that kind of like, gives me an idea that, hey, the mold has started to crack in this company, right? But I still hold on to that because I like their international division that eventually will grow to a certain size. But, I look at the business, actually the bulk of business is still in China, so they are facing a lot of headwinds. And the problem with this business, right, is that they don't have pricing power. Right? So every time when the cost goes up, okay, they can't increase the average selling price, and that's why they have to absorb all the costs. And this comes in big time in, I think, 2020 when there was COVID, right? So they had to pause their manufacturing plant, but they actually continue to do it because these are one of the key industry that is essential, right? The government forced all the people working in the factory to sleep over there. You still remember China, a lot of factories, a lot of employees actually sleep through during the lockdown. Then come 2021, I think there was a supply chain issue, and the cost of raw material, shipping, oil, everything just go to the roof, right? And they couldn't raise the prices, so they have to absorb all these losses. And so they couldn't raise the prices. Except international market, they still continue to raise the prices. But at the end of the day, I just concluded that, hey, I have invested in this company for almost 10 years. And I look at the return, I didn't lose money, right? But the return is so little that it kind of like couldn't justify the amount of efforts, energy, the time that I followed through this company. And I could have just invested in some companies that are maybe compounders, and I just hold it through there, and I don't have, mentally I'm at peace. I don't have to keep on checking what there's any issues. And this company has gone through many issues, right? So many things, and they are considered unlucky in a way, right? Okay. So, and that's why I started to realize, hey, when you invest in a company that don't have pricing power, either they are a property, if they have a low supply of space, usually the landlord will have a lot of upper hand when it comes to negotiating the rent, right? So same thing for business, right? If they have a very low pricing power, I think it's just very difficult for the company to pass on the cost to the customer. And they just go into this endless price war, which a lot of Chinese companies are really good at it, and which is bad for business or investors. So that was my insight for 2023, and I decided to call it an end. That's it.
Okay, but you didn't lose money. But it was an opportunity cost.
Yeah, personally, I didn't add more during the low. Okay, so in the way that I lost half actually for personal, but I think for company we do hold it. For our dividend portfolio, we also do hold it. We didn't lose our money there.
So this is your problem child that you disown.
Decided to disown it.
You're no longer mine.
Problem child.
So enough is enough, man.
Out you go.
All right, but that's a good story. I mean, JPack, Great View Aseptic Packaging. For those who are interested, we've been following for some time. And
I realized that I just spent a hell of a lot of time in this company, and it doesn't make sense for me. To continue to hold it.
It wasn't worth the effort.
Some children don't grow up the way we want them to.
So I mean, that's just investing. You can do your homework.
Investing and children same lah.
It just doesn't always play out the way you want.
I don't see my kids as an investment.
Or is it an expense?
I see them as happiness.
Assets. Okay, what about you, Victor?
For me, it's basically more towards the fundamental of investing, right? I mean, I've been investing for I think 10 years or plus already.
More than that,
right? And throughout the years, I've tested so many methods, right? You have your value investing, your growth investing, your special situation, and all sorts of whatever compounder or something, right? I think at the end is you really want to find the method that really takes you, right? So I've been throughout the years, I've also been helping, doing research on compounding. But actually, after some time, after this year of soul searching, right, and reading lots of materials, I come to term that actually I'm someone who don't really like to look at compounder. I'm someone who like to look at distressed assets, right? Because when the asset is distressed, right, most of the time the valuation will be very low, and also the investor sentiment is very bad, right? All you need is that the situation that they happen in, right, must be temporary, right? It just there's a change in sentiment, right? The multiple will change and everything will change, and most of the time this kind of asset, I've seen it many times. I've seen the pattern so many times throughout the 10 years, and I sort of get the hang of it, of how to look at all these distressed assets. So I mean, maybe from now onwards I'll tend to look more on distressed assets now.
I think you also mentioned that besides being distressed, it needs to have a catalyst.
Yes, correct.
For it to basically turn around, right?
So if it's distressed for a long time, there's no catalyst, then no point. It becomes a value trap.
Greatview was like distressed in a way.
Yeah, at the time when we added on, it was temporary.
It was distressed, and there's a catalyst. I feel there's a catalyst for Greatview. I did add Greatview at $1.
Okay.
Right. So I mean, he didn't add, but I add Greatview at $1. It went up to $2 plus, and it went down. I'm still up. It's okay.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, but now my take is like when people tell me, which is good company, which is what, I probably won't go and look. Right?
Okay.
I only look when they tell, hey, there's some bad news about this company. It dropped 90%. Then I'll look, right? So this one thing I learned. And second is that in the past, when I do a research, right, I tend to go very deep on every single research. So I realized it took out a lot of time. So right now, I like to play the law of numbers. I just read as much research and find as much idea as possible. Then from there, I just find the pattern of distressed assets.
And then you go deep?
Then I go deep.
Okay.
So I mean, it's like flipping, like what Peter Lynch said, right? You just flip, right? You flip 100, you'll definitely get 1, right? You flip 200, you get 2, and all this. So you just keep flipping only, right? But you on surface, you roughly can get the idea, because there's a certain patterns to look at things on. I think I somehow got the hang of it. So nowadays I'm looking for the same patterns over and over again.
So you realize that this is the way you actually like to invest. You really like looking for this.
It's very chill. I mean, like you keep
enjoy
changing.
it.
I mean, like once your investment fulfilled, you just close this company, then you just go to the next one.
Okay.
Just close and go move on.
So the turnover will be a lot higher.
It's more active in terms of investing. And I think I like this style more than compounding, like sitting down there and just letting go.
I love compounders.
I love compounders.
I just like.
But the distressed assets does makes higher returns, I would say, because I've seen so many companies that when you distress, that was like temporary issue. They may down to 2 or 3 years, right? But the next few years, like 3 years or 4 years, right, they will go up like 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, or maybe 10 times, right? So because they are sell to the worst valuation already, and people are not looking at it, and when the investor sentiment come in, everything just shift, and the situation just disappear. The temporary situation disappear, catalyst happen, everything just revert.
Just to remind everyone, this kind of investing takes a lot of skill and a lot of experience. I
think you must read really a lot of companies to get the hang of the patterns.
Because it's not easy to tell a distressed asset that's going all the way down. A distressed asset that can turn around.
Correct. That's why you have to see enough distressed assets to know
it takes time.
What will go down and what will not go down.
So this practice of investing is actually a lot more niche. Right? It takes years of experience to gather this information. And of course, the amount of efforts that I think Victor's going to put in, you will also justify by the amount of return that you're going to get. If that, situations have to turn. You can get quadruple because the prices are so distressed.
Correct.
And so that's something that I find it difficult for myself. So I prefer to stick to compounders. I don't mind getting a lower return, but it's a peace of mind. I get to spend on other things.
But it's a great, great synergy. You can look at this kind of stuff.
And I get to see his point of view as well.
Correct. Because if everyone invests the same, you don't need. You don't really need that. You kind of like different kind of views.
I think it's you really have to really choose that. I mean, it suits your innate character. I feel the distressed asset really suits my innate character. And that's how I've always been doing in terms of my example. Let's say I do Muay Thai, everybody knows, right? So Muay Thai is about when you do the pad work. It seems like you do same thing over again, but actually it's quite different thing when you do pad work, you do sparring, require a lot of thinking and different move and all this. It's not always constantly the same, like keep just punching one move and all this, right? So I think probably I'm conditioned that way.
Just for the record, I have held Victor's pads before, and he's given me kicks Don't ever mess with Victor.
Very nice guy.
How much power were you kicking me at the time? I was on a cruise.
I can't remember. That was so long
That
time
was
ago.
your first cruise you went on. I was just holding the pad for you.
Yeah.
I was like,
You hear the sound.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to mess with you.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
very old now, so no power.
That was a long time ago.
But Adam got a kick out of it, man.
That is true in a very literal way. I did get a kick out of it. Yeah.
Yes.
It was,
Maybe more than one.
there's a few kicks. Yeah, very powerful. All right, so those are for few of us. What about you, AK? We'd love to hear from you as well.
I add on to what Victor said. You know, investing in distressed assets is something I've done before. You know, so readers of my blog, long-time readers, you know, like Sizen REITs was in distress. It's true, you know. People say, this one hopeless already, die already. Then you go and look, you know, there's blood in the streets, go and look, maybe got some jewels in the blood, right? Yeah, so it's true you can get higher returns, you know, and of course, that happened for me with Sizen REIT and a few other REITs in the past. But then, one thing that we have to take note of, whether the distressed asset is distressed for a good reason, right? And then if it's genuinely 100% distressed and it's a basket case, you must be able to recognize it for that. You know, not all distressed assets are worth putting your money in. It has to be fundamentally sound. Okay, so and then in one of our past podcasts, I remember saying that, you know, when something is suffering a downturn, you want to see whether it's due to structural reasons, whether it's seasonal, or whether it's cyclical. If it's seasonal and cyclical, then no problem, you know. Then, you know, it'll come back up. But then if it's structural, like what Adam said about Facebook, it was structural.
It was structural.
So I think Adam was right in avoiding and not plonking in more money, because at that time it was clearly structural. Who could have known that the AI would have reversed his fortune? Right? AI, you know, it was something that Robocop, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's fictional. So what Adam
Terminator,
did,
right?
Robocop or Terminator, same.
I mean, Terminator has more AI in it.
Okay, I don't know, you know. But the thing is,
tells your age, you know.
we don't know everything there is to know. We don't have perfect knowledge, so we have to act on what we do know, and not speculate.
Yeah, but my thing it was worth the price at that time.
Yeah. So I mean, if you size your position conservatively, okay lah, you know, buy a bit more. If it turns out well, good. If it doesn't turn out well, small position. You know, now I just rub salt into his wound. So you see, I'm very good at adding on to what people say. Now say about what I myself say. 2023 has been good to me. It has been good to me. So my passive income grew decently well. And looking back, the big takeaway I have, right, is the importance of diversification. Right? If my portfolio had been heavy in REITs like it was many years ago, I think I would have done poorly. Right? But because I diversified into the banks and increasingly so over the years, my portfolio has been able to turn in growth in terms of dividends. So that really spells the importance of diversification for regular investors like us, because we are really know-nothing investors, right? Very few of us can be like Warren Buffett, right, who believes in concentration, right? 50% of portfolio in Apple. And very few of us can do that kind of thing. And if something were to go wrong, Warren Buffett will survive, but for most of us, it might not be the case. So the importance of diversification for regular investors cannot be overemphasized. And then it's also, of course, having said that, you can say, but AK, if you have even gone lighter on REITs, heavier in banks, you will do even better. It's true lah. Now rub salt in my wound lah.
On the hindsight.
That's on hindsight. Yes, what Rusmin says is correct. We don't have perfect knowledge. Right? We don't know everything there is to know. Right? So we can only do what we think is approximately right. That's also borrowing Warren Buffett's words. Right? We cannot be 100% right all the time. We want to be approximately right. What we want to avoid is to be absolutely wrong. And if we're able to do that, we'll do well enough. So it's not about trying to achieve the best results all the time, right? It's about achieving acceptably, reasonably good results, and we should be happy with it, right? So try not to be a perfectionist when it comes to investing, because I think your life will be quite miserable if you want to be perfect. You know, you must remember what Peter Lynch says, if you're right 6 times out of 10 times, you'll be fine. Right? So try to be more forgiving towards yourself. I'm more forgiving towards myself in recent years. I love myself more.
And you spend more now. Right?
I spend more on myself. I spend more on people around me. You know, try to be more forgiving and try not to be a perfectionist.
Yeah, I think it's true, right? Because when it comes to investing, a lot of people want to wait for 100% information, then they start investing in a company, which is not the fact. Because if you got 100% of the information, the valuation just reflects it. Right. Most of the time, right, good valuation comes with a lot of bad news. And at that point of time, based on the information that you have, right, you have to make a probability bet on it, right? That, okay, the risk reward is high. It's worth the bet. There's no such thing as zero risk. There's always risk in investing. It's whether it's low or high only. What you want is low risk, high reward, asymmetrical bet, right? So that's also the reason why I want to go distressed asset, because most of the time they does give asymmetrical bets. Right?
This is also why in my blog I'm always when I should do analysis. I know you guys want me to do more stock analysis, but I'm too lazy to do it all the time. But when I do stock analysis, I always have the title incomplete analysis of ComfortDelGro, for example, incomplete analysis of Wingkai,
That's a good way
for
to
example.
put it.
Because all my analysis of stocks, they are all incomplete.
Because it's based on information at that point of time.
Not only that, even at that point of time, I would not look for all the information there is available. I'm not so hardworking. I look at it like a jigsaw puzzle. You don't need all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to be in to see the big picture. You only need the vital pieces of the jigsaw puzzles to be in, and you can tell, oh, that's a castle. Oh, that's a car.
You're right.
Right. So my analysis of companies, usually I would say like 30-40% I can see the picture, I make a decision. Because I don't have so much time, like Rusmin, you know, a company check for 10 years. No, I don't have so much time. I spend 18 hours a day gaming. I just rub salt into your wound.
Okay,
whose wound I have not rubbed salt yet? Yours.
Yourself.
Nothing to rub.
No, nothing to rub, then don't rub. A lot of static electricity. So, basically, you know, when you do analysis, right, we only have so little time. Right, and time is so precious.
This is so true. I totally agree with it.
So are we out of time?
No. I just have to say, you have a knack for giving really good analogies. So it's true. I mean, you don't have to see all of the picture. You can kind of tell it's going to be, like you said, like a castle or whatever it is, and then you make your bet.
The vital pieces must be in.
That's true. That is so correct. Yeah. I mean, it's like kind of like the video or the image resolution loading. You don't have to like see all the way. Oh yeah, that's what it is. But that's a good sharing as well. I mean, always a lot to learn from all of you, in fact. Not just AK, of course.
No, nothing to learn from me. AK funny can already.
He's saying it again, right?
Funny can, no substance.
No substance. Yes.
All right. So anyway, this is what we wanted to share for this last roundtable for the year. I mean, we really had a lot of fun, you know, just chit-chatting with you guys. I mean, I see you guys almost every week at the office.
No.
I mean, not you, of course. You just come in.
You can come every week
come in.
if you want.
But I see them every week. And, you know, it's been a pleasure having doing all these roundtables behind the scenes as well. You know, people behind the scenes.
You make this sounds like the Last Supper.
Huh? No lah.
It has been nice knowing you.
Anyway, it's been nice knowing you. I mean, it's been really fun. For you watching our channel as well, because it's grown over the years. This 1 year as well. I think we're at 40,000 subscribers now. So thank you so much for supporting us. We don't do it without you, because if you're not watching, then like AK says, we're just talking to ourselves. So it's been a real pleasure, and we just want to wish all of you, enjoy your holidays, and we'll see you in 2024. So
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye bye.
All right, so with that, my name is Adam, Rizmin, Victor.
Thank you.
That's AK.
Bye bye.
Once again joining us. Thank you so much for watching us. Any questions about this, put them in the comment section. Of course, like this roundtable. It really helps us a lot. And subscribe to our channel. We'll love to see you in 2024, and we'll see you again.